Under General John Blackjack Pershing's command, the American First Army launched its offensive on September 26th. While the French Army held the flanks, the U.S. assault began with a rolling artillery barrage that allowed the American troops to smash through the Germans' first line of trenches and battlements. The German Army, under the command of General Erich Ludendorff, rushed 6 divisions to the line in an attempt to shore up the defensive positions. For the moment, the American advance was halted at the Argonne forest, but with the German forces now stretched thin along the front, the British began their own push to the north and quickly recaptured Passchendaele. For Ludendorff, the situation was deteriorating at an alarming rate. Holes had begun appearing up and down the front, and the German general found himself with less and less troops available to plug the breaches in the lines. By early October, 3 British armies had punched their way through the famed Hindenburg Line, the last German line of defense. Further south, General Pershing had been unsuccessful in driving through the Argonne, but the Germans, in placing their priority on defending this region, had left their positions critically weak elsewhere. After nearly 5 years of stalemate, the German lines were crumbling at an astonishing speed, and by mid-October, Ludendorff would report to the Kaiser that the war was lost and the time was at hand to begin negotiations that would bring an end to the fighting. On October 5th, Roland Garros, the world's first true fighter pilot and the war's first flying ace, was shot down and killed over the German lines. It had been a long road from the early pioneering days of aviation to a German prisoner of war camp and finally back to wartime flying. After a period of retraining, the 30-year-old Garros was delighted to find himself back in action with Escadrille SPAD number 26. When he failed to return from a patrol, his squadron mates wondered if he might have suffered the misfortune of being captured by the enemy for a second time. 2 weeks later, an account was published in the German papers stating that Roland Garros, the famous aviator, had been brought down and mortally wounded during a fight with German flyers.